It's my pleasure today to be speaking with Craig Mathieson. Craig Mathieson has got a military background originally. He's been to the South Pole as part of the first all Scottish expedition to go there. He has taken an expedition to the North Pole with a 16-year-old who Craig actually gave leadership of the expedition to for the final phase where they reached the pole. Craig is a explorer in residence for the Royal Scottish Geographic Society, and he has an honorary doctorate of Abertay University. But what I'm going to be speaking to Craig primarily about is the Polar Academy, which is this absolutely incredible youth organisation and mental health charity which Craig has set up, which has taken hundreds of young people over the last 11 years on incredibly challenging expeditions to Greenland. But actually it's not just about the expedition, as I'm sure Craig will explain. He runs a very, very enlightened selection process where he finds the young people who most need the development and most need the Polar Academy, and then puts them through a really challenging and demanding selection process that affects them and their family. This will be a fascinating conversation, so I'm absolutely delighted to have you here today, Craig. So Craig, can you tell us about the Polar Academy? What is it?
Yeah, well, essentially it's a children's mental health charity, mental wellbeing charity. We've been going almost 14 years now. We do things a bit differently from other children's charity, and it's all based on the type of children we work with. I saw a need for this when I was in school, many years ago, and I've always wanted to work with that middle tier of children that's in every school. And we're not talking about specifically areas of deprivation or anything like that. We're talking about children. And so this middle cohort that kind of get overlooked, feel invisible in the system because they see opportunity going to either side of them. So the academic side, kids like going off, and teachers enjoy that side and they want to teach that side because it ticks all the boxes. But they also see it going to the kids who maybe don't behave as well as they should do. There's a huge amount of opportunity out there for that if you want, huge amount. But there's not really anything for this middle group. And so they grow up feeling invisible, thinking achieving something significant in life is for other people. And that's how I felt when I was young. And I spent years speaking in schools about exploration, and years speaking to parents of kids and grandparents of kids, and seeing this thing every generation where nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes. And it got to a tipping point. I thought, I need to do something about this, and I want to do something about this. And the only thing I've ever been good at is skiing in straight lines. That's what I say all the time. Skiing straight lines and know how a compass works. But I truly love the outdoors, and I know the power of the outdoors, especially the high latitudes, the Arctic and the Antarctic. And I thought, if I could just expose these kids to that, it will change them. It will bring them out their shell and show them what they're capable of in life. Now, every kid I work with has a dream of a positive future, but it's buried so deep down within them, they don't talk about it. They try not even think about it because in their head, it's never going to happen. So that they bury it. and they're scared. They're scared to talk about it. So what we do from day one is show them how capable they are. Now, how we select these kids is really straightforward. I'm actually doing it tomorrow for the next group. I go into a school, speak to every kid that's eligible, so that's any kid from 13 to 17. Tell them what we do, what's expected of them, how hard it's going to be. You be brutally honest with kids, and they respect that. And tell them what we expect back from them, but also tell them how they're going to change, and almost make a promise to them. Like the version of the person that you really want to be, that person you fantasize about being, we can make that. It's going to take us 18 months, but you'll be there. You do this for you. You don't do it because your friends put your name down. You do it for you. If there's any other reason you want to do it, please don't put your name down, because it won't work.
And how hard is the expedition itself?
It's really hard. We try and make. I mean, we've been dubbed Europe's toughest youth program. So something I'm really proud about when people say that, because and it's not like tough love. Everyone thinks it's very military and we shout at people. I mean, I never raise my voice. It's like we don't teach. No one learns by shouting at them. I teach every kid in the way that they can learn. So if I'm working with 30 kids, I teach in 30 different styles. So it's a lot to remember. And when I work with the parents, I teach them in 30 different styles. So there's a lot going on in my head. But it has to be that, because you know what it's like. A kid can learn if you just give a straight instruction. Kids standing next to them won't get that, so you've got to describe it in a totally different way, then again. But I love the kids of Polar Academy. I say that middle cohort, but within that cohort, there's the group that we actually work with, and like we don't advertise this on the website or anything, but every kid has had a trauma in their life. Sometimes the school doesn't know about it, but we've got enough experience now, we can almost see it in their eyes. We actually call it Emma's eyes. When we see a kid, we say, oh, that's Emma's eyes. We know there's something going on there. And it could be anything. It could be horrific bullying, which we see in every school, absolutely every school. It could be bereavement, and they don't know how to cope with grief. We see that a lot. The darker cases, it's abuse. We see a lot of that, especially in young women. But it could be anything. And they haven't spoke about it, or they have spoke about it, try to get help, and the help just isn't there. So a lot of the kids get in a very dark place. Some are on suicide watch when we first meet them. I mean, touch wood, we've never lost a kid.
No, you're selecting them from your perspective, from your team's perspective, the most challenging children that you could be taking on an expedition.
Absolutely. A high-stress environment. We're taking the most challenging because I know that they are going to be the best. They have the strongest leadership qualities. It's just they don't understand that at this point. But from day one, when they come up to selection, we stop treating them as a victim, because that's how they're seen by society, as a victim. They're getting a new label on every week. They're not a victim, they're a member of a team with responsibilities for everyone else, right? It's the team that finishes the expedition, not the individual. They all have strengths. No one has a weakness in the Polar Academy. They all have different strengths, and we will find them in that first 48 hours. But the first thing we've got to do in selection is get rid of that fear that they all come up with. I mean, so they arrive at selection. This is the very first stage of Polar Academy. So they arrive up in the Highlands at the Glenmore Lodge, not talking to one another because they don't talk. Parents not talking to one another because they're strangers. And it starts from the second they walk through the door. They're getting assessed. And
are you there meeting them as they come in?
I'm there, but everyone's in on it. Like everyone at the Glenmore Lodge is in on it, from the chef to the person that's washing the dishes to the guys in stores. Everyone reports back to me. And I tell them that. Again, it's just been open and honest. I get them in the lecture theatre on the Friday night, explain what's going to happen, and it's late at night, they're tired. I said, right, tomorrow morning there's 3 essential tasks you're going to do. You're going to do a height task, a above water task, and a below water task. But you've not to worry about it. Instantly putting a worry in the head.
You do that on purpose, do you?
Everything I say is on purpose. Every word I've practiced. And the tone of saying it, I've practiced. But I said, don't worry, because we'll get rid of fear. And I make them promise we'll get rid of fear. Because I know everyone's scared. And the parents are terrified. I mean, they're paler than kids sometimes. But what I want everyone to do now is to go up to the bar and relax. Don't go back to your room. Go up to the bar, relax. And go up, and I said, right, all the kids, you go over there. Introduce yourself. Start talking. Don't care what you talk about. Start talking. Parents, get yourself a drink, right? This is not school night anymore. Get yourself a drink if you want and relax.
And the parents stay over.
They stay over. They stay. And then the next morning, they come, they have breakfast, and they know each other a wee bit. But again, everyone's in on it. So they get the food. And I said, right, you don't eat food, and this is the rule, you don't eat any food until you show me your plate. So they get the food, show me the plate, and I said, that's not enough. Go back and get some more. Well, I don't like sausages. Well, the good thing is, today you do. So go and get 2 or 3 more, and then eat it all, and then show me the empty plate. Because one of the things on expeditions is, you've got to be able to eat food.
Yeah.
And the parent will come up and say, well, they're not big eaters. I said, good stuff, because now they are. And they go away. You don't give them any quarter on excuses.
And does that always work?
That always works.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the parent. I can say whatever that we need to happen. If it was the parents that have just like cave in, it's for an easy life. And they quickly realise it's like there's no point in fighting against this. We just need to do this selection weekend. So they go in and start doing tasks, and like the task I specialise in is the underwater bit of it, and I love that. So we get them in. Again, everyone's scared. A lot of kids can't swim because they don't do swimming lessons at school anymore. A lot of parents can't swim, so they're a bit scared. And they feel vulnerable as well because they're in a swimming costume, and I said, right, wear baggy t-shirts, cover yourself up.
In a cold pool as well.
In a cold, I think they put a little tea light candle underneath it, just to get some heat. But yeah, again, but you tell them the water's warm, and in the head it's warm. Yes. But they're terrified, and I do the first bit out. You'll need to do this. The first bit out the pool, and I have the ropes, and each got about length of rope about 3 or 4 foot. Simple knots I teach them: figure of 8, reef knot, bowline. So 5 minutes, you've got it sussed. 10 minutes, you're kind of closing your eyes and having a laugh, and everyone's relaxed. And that's the important bit. Everyone's relaxed. Then I say, okay, in the pool, everyone in the pool. I don't know how to swim. I said, well, good, because I'm going to teach you how to swim. It's going to be fine.
Yes.
And
there's always the right answer for everything. There's just always a positive answer that shows them they can do it.
Absolutely. And said, right, the first thing, before we do anything, we're going to have a little swimming race. Oh, I don't know how to swim. I said, don't worry, you'll learn, right? Right, the ones who do know how to swim, what strokes do you know? And it's like, well, I know the breaststroke, I know the front crawl. I said, right, that's great. Right, we're going to do the butterfly. Right, no one knows how to do the butterfly.
No.
I said,
or why. No one knows why
exactly,
anyone does
the most
the butterfly.
ridiculous thing ever. I said, don't worry about it. It's just your hands over your head, pull the water, kick your legs. It'll be fine. I said, there's no deep end to this pool or shallow end. It's just all deep. So you'll be fine. And it's a race, right? And I'll go to them one at a time. So I have generally 3 kids at a time in the pool with a pair next to them. And I'll go to the first one and right, okay, I want you to win. No matter what, I want you to win.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Is that clear? And it's like, yeah. And then I'll go to the next one, like, don't let her beat you. Whatever you do everything you can, but do not let her beat you. And then go to the last one, said, you're the champ. You're the absolute champ in this. I know you can swim faster than everyone else. Yeah. Okay, you got that in your head. No matter what, win. Right?
Purpose, you see. Yeah. You're giving them a clear purpose that distracts from everything that gets in the way of what they're trying to achieve.
And then you count down, you say go, and it's complete chaos.
Yeah.
But that's great. I want to see the chaos. You've got to go through the chaos. So they're coughing, spluttering. They're not really swimming. They're just running up and down, moving arms. But that's not important. So they come back and the parents will go up and coughing, spluttering. And we get back and said, right, how was that? Oh, it's like, that was a bit scary. I said, good, right, let's do it again. But let's do it faster this time. And we build them up, and I get them to a point that they're properly out of breath because they don't have time to stop. And I said, right, it's when you're at school or when you're at home and things are really bad and you've fallen off that dark cliff, you're free falling down, and every kid I speak to knows exactly that feeling. I said, you're that exhausted, you can't talk about this trauma anymore. It's exhausting to talk about. And I know you're a bit exhausted just now. You're falling off the cliff, and you're just changing the mental state again. I said, right, okay, we'll slow your heart rate down now and show you how to get rid of that fear. Show you how to get back up that cliff. Yeah. And we're going to do that underwater. I said, because no matter who you are, being underwater is a leveler for everyone. So they're in the pool. I get in the pool at this stage, and it's usually Jake is very good at this as well because he's grown up with it.
Jake, your son.
Yeah. And I say, right, follow exactly what I say to the T. Right, just do exactly what I ask you to do, the way I ask you to do it. If you do that, it will work. If you do anything else, it won't work. Do you understand? You always confirmed understanding. And I said, okay, right. On count of 3, everyone underwater. Don't think about it. Everyone underwater, and come up when you feel uncomfortable. So right, 3, 2, 1, go. So they go underwater, and of course they come up instantly. Coughing, spluttering, in a panic, this kind of thing. And of course they can just stand up. And I said, right, that's good. That's normal. That's absolutely normal. And always pick out the one who's most terrified, the one who's shaking or crying. And I said, right, can I show you something? I get them in front of me. I said, what I want you to do now is listen to exactly what I say. Okay? All right, it's good. And I said, right, I'm going to hold your wrists, and I'm going to take your pulse, and I'm going to feel your pulse dropping because your heart rate's going to drop now. And they're still shaking. And I get them to stand in front, and I stand in a very specific bit of the pool because I'm looking at a clock with the second hand on it. And I make sure everyone else is looking at that clock. And I go through a technique, and if you're a military diver, you know it. You start at the top of the head, and you start relaxing every muscle. So you say, right, close your eyes, and you talk them through this process from the top of the head. And I describe it as a thick, dark liquid being poured over you. And it's spreading down. And when it hits, it relaxes everything and takes every bit of energy away from you. And it spreads over your shoulders, down in your chest, then down in your abdomen, down your legs, right to your ankles, and along your toes. But I've probably spent about 5 minutes really slowly going through it. And the whole time they're relaxing. And I can feel the pulse slowing because I'm timing it on the clock. And I say, right, now when I count down from 3, you take one big breath and fall forward in the water. And I'll be holding you. And only come up when you feel my hands let go. But what I want you to do is fall asleep underwater. Just relax. Fall asleep, have a sleep. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. I'm in 100% control. And of course the shaking stopped now because they're relaxed, forehead's relaxed. And they fall forward and you get them to a minute underwater. Then you let go. Of course, they come up and they're not coughing, spluttering anymore. They're a bit confused. They think they've been down for 10, 15 seconds, but everyone else has been watching that clock and they've just hit a minute, but they're not out of breath. And I said, you can do longer than this because you're not out of breath. And then I just put them to the side and they go away to the side thinking, what just happened there? I said, right, next one. And I go through it all. And then I get everyone to do it all at the same time, but the parent to do it to their child and then vice versa. And I said, right, that's really good. Everyone's relaxed and my voice has changed again. So I try and make every word smooth and rounded and just calm. I said, good. Right now, loud, we're going to change it up. You're going to go in a kayak now. And I get the kayak out, and we're going to do this one at a time. And remember those knots I taught you? And they go, yeah. Well, this time I'm going to put you in a kayak, seal you inside the kayak. The spray deck's too small. You won't be able to punch out. I will have 100% control of this kayak. I'm going to take you out to the middle of the pool, capsize you. You're going to be upside down underwater. And I'm going to dive down, give you a rope back. You tie those knots because I'm not bringing you up until you're finished.
So it's a total change of pace.
Total change of pace.
And you're putting the pressure on in the way that you present it.
Yeah. So heart rate's going. Yeah. And again, you pick on the one who's looks palest, really, is the easy one. You get them in the boat and get them out. And then I said, right, okay, before we do this, close your eyes. And take them through it again, all the way down. I said, right, okay. And then I go right up to them and said, right, you're not coming up until all the knots are tied. You are going to tie all the knots perfectly. It's the last thing I say to them.
But you've calmed it back down there.
Calmed it right down. But I've told them what's going to happen. You are going to tie the knots perfectly. You give them the future.
Yes.
No one has ever failed this test. No one. You capsize them, and of course they tie the knots properly. And you bring them up, and they're not out of breath. And they'll look at the knots because they think this is an exercise in knot tying. And of course it's not that. It's an exercise in trust and relaxation and listening. And it's usually the parents are in bits at this because they're in tears. They couldn't believe what their son or daughter's just done. And I said, right, okay, that was very good. Right, you come out of the boat now. Mum, in the boat. And I do the same with the parent. And they do 48 hours of those kind of tasks. And the last one was, we take them up the hill. Mm-hmm. And at the top of the hill are Polar Academy kids who have been through it. And they do a little bit of fitness with them. Back down.
And that's unexpected. They think they're going for a hill walk, and it turns out there's a PT session at the top.
I throw in other things, like I take my rucksack off, and Nigel one instructor deliberately hangs back, and I said, give this to Nigel for me, just run down there. Yeah. So they run down, and Nigel gives them instructions, said, I don't want it anymore. Can you run back up and give it to Craig? And then I go, right, okay. And then picking someone else, give it, Nigel really wants this. And so everyone gets a shot of running up and down.
And what are you looking for with this?
I'm looking if anyone gets angry
Yeah.
at that stage, at that point, or if they're giving them all. I don't care if they're totally done in, and they can't run back up. They're walking. I care if they stop, but I don't care if they're just walking up. And they get back to me with the rucksack, and then everyone doing the PE bit at the top, then down the hill at speed, and then for some reason they think that's all over, and then it gets hard, because then one at a time we take them in the lecture theatre, and they've got 10 minutes with their parent, standing at the front of the lecture theatre, which is a really intimidating theatre, with all the Polar Academy staff in there. But they're all sitting up the back, and I'm sitting front and centre, down at the front. Yeah. And again, public speaking, as you know, is terrifying for most of us. But a couple of weeks before they got there, I gave them a task on a presentation, some bullet points what I want covered. So they've prepared something, and they get the first sentence out, and I stop them deliberately, and I said, right, okay, we're going to change it a bit. Like, see all the guys up the back? They're now invisible. You can't see them anymore, you can't hear them anymore. I'm the only one in the room. You come closer, and you're going to talk to me. There's only one question. Why are you really here? And because they've got nothing in the tank.
So their script is
gone.
Pushed aside.
Gone.
Yeah.
And they start talking, and that's when the truth comes out, and that can be really hard. And the reason I'm down the front is because it's that emotional sometimes. I don't want to see the reaction from staff because they're in the dark. But I've got to sit there, and it's like getting an emotional sledgehammer bashed in my face continually. Because a lot of the time, a kid will come out with something that the parents never heard before.
And the parents are not in the room for this?
No, they are standing
they're in the
right
room.
next to their child when this is going on.
And for you, this is, I would think, emotionally pretty draining.
It is.
And maybe reminds you of your own. You said at the beginning, you said earlier, that you were one of those kids. You were a Polar Academy kid in your youth. Is it opening up stuff for you to listen to what they say? Yeah,
because it never leaves you. So I've got to put this front on. I mean, I can get rid of those demons. I've got ways of doing it when I get home. But so the kid will open up, and I ask them very clear, simple questions about it. And then I thank them for it. It's really important to thank them. And I'll go, okay, Mum, front and centre. What's she really like? Right? A question you ask a parent, and it's a really emotional question. Describe your child. And they'll come out with this, like the description of the child. Then I get the child back. I say, right, describe the girl, the young woman who you want to be. Tell me what they look like. Tell me how they feel. Tell me how they work with other people. And they'll instantly come out with it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I want to be able to talk. I want to be able to go to my classes without being scared. Maybe one day I want to go to university, and the parent will go, you've never said that before. No. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to go out with friends. I want friends. This kind of thing. And this person, she'll wear makeup, and this person, she'll have cool clothes. She'll have painted nails. Like simple things that these kids are dreaming of. And I said, that's great. I think I saw her in the pool. And you leave it that. And then they go out and they think, and I do this with every kid, they think we then take a couple of days to sit down and deliberate who gets picked. I guarantee when they've taken 3 steps out that door of the lecture theatre, we've decided. And we don't have the discussion anymore. I just turn around and we get the nod, and that's it.
You just know.
Yep. And so who we're looking for is the ones who would benefit the most from it. It just so happens they're the most broken ones.
Yeah.
But you can see that spark. They've just described the future. It's now our job to give it to them. So it's great, but you're right, it's absolutely exhausting for us. Well, for me, anyway, doing that. I would rather run a marathon. I would feel less tired running a marathon than 10 minutes doing that, emotionally. So now I used to go home after doing selection. I can't now. Now I've got to stay up for an extra night.
Just to recover.
Yeah.
Does anyone stay with you?
Michelle usually comes up now. Wife.
And then when you've selected your cohort, you put them. I mean, you've had this wonderful focus on a positive future, and you've seen their ability to take unexpected challenges and changes. But then, if anything, you ramp things up even more for the training part of the process.
Yeah. I mean, to do a polar expedition in winter in the high Arctic, you've got to be physically fit. There's not many kids who are properly physically fit anymore. I mean, the stories I hear that a PE session is watching a video about people doing the Olympics. Doesn't really get you fit. So again, we make them a promise that we'll have you up at elite level for this. Don't you worry. We'll get you there. That's my job to do that. So we'll start doing sessions in school every week, and we build up. So I love the first session because it's, again, chaos. You've got to go through that chaos thing, and they're collapsing, they're throwing up, they're doing all this.
And you take these sessions, Craig.
You
go into the school and you take over their PT sessions.
Yeah, we do it after school. So they've had a full day at school, then they're doing this. And again, you turn everything into positive. So if someone throws up, it's like, that's brilliant. What an effort you've just put in. Like, good to see that big pile of effort juice on the floor now. Like, we'll crack on. It's not an excuse to give up, right?
Yeah.
Being sick's all right. You'll get over that, right? It's not life-threatening. I mean, we have rules. Like, training is never cancelled. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing physically or mentally that will stop you coming from training to training. And we absolutely mean that. We've had kids that broke their legs. We had this girl, horrible accident, a twist fracture in her leg. She was off school, but she still had to come to Polar Academy training. And you just point out, like, you came in, that's fantastic. Or doctor said, I can't do anything in this leg. I said, that's great. We'll concentrate on the other one then. You can still do press-ups on one leg. Yeah. And all this. And like all the jumping stuff, just do it on one leg, you'll be fine. It'll be okay in 6 weeks' time. Yeah. And you just see this huge smile.
Because they're learning that there are most excuses are really low bars that can be. Yeah.
And so we build up and the sessions get harder and harder and harder. And we're at this beautiful stage now with the current teams that we're doing the absolute hardest version of the training, and we've doubled it.
You just double it.
We just double it. Yep. And then we'll just before Christmas, when the world is easing down, we'll triple it. Yeah.
And do they know that's coming?
Yeah. It's
so they've seen the program
it's
ahead.
All good, but they're now at the stage they see the difference, and they're wanting that next stage. So it's not kids like, oh God, it's training again tonight. It's like, what we're going to be doing, right? Yeah. Because we throw in extra stuff all the time. Like, we'll have them like doing stress positions with chairs, but competition with each other. Like, who can do the longest plank? I bet you can. You're going to win tonight. Yeah? Don't let him win. You win tonight.
You see, one thing that comes out is your relationship with them and the rest of your team's relationship with the the children is so important.
Yeah.
The fact that you've got that connection and respect and a sense of fun. Once you've set the conditions, what you enable them to do is phenomenal. And I feel there are so many.
Well, they've got us for 24/7 for the 18 months. So I mean, like I was sitting in the car, like to parents, like and answering stuff that they've got concern because this weekend's the first big tyre haul. So
is that St Andrews? Is it?
No, this is up in the Trossachs. So they've got 20 kilometres up and down hills.
First tyre pull.
This is the easy one.
20 kilometres.
Yeah, before it gets hard. And of course they're a wee bit concerned about that, but they'll be absolutely fine. It's just there all the time, and we say that's fine. There's never any problem if you're worried about some. Contact us. We might not be able to fix everything, because with families you maybe get domestic stuff kicking off that they think we can fix as well.
Yes,
and it's like I'm not trained in that. That's a mother-father thing. Yeah, kind of thing. But the kids know that they can come up and talk to us about anything, and we will do something about it. That's the key to it. We will do something about it, even if it's something with school. Like we can bypass a lot and just go straight to the head teacher, and we've got like, this needs fixed. This needs fixed by the next time we were in school.
I remember a conversation I had with you maybe last year, where you described, and I was amazed by the fact, you sometimes drive for hours at night to get where there's an incident with one of the children on the programme. You go a huge way out of your way personally to support them. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, last Christmas Eve, I was sitting in a kid's house with a mother going through the stresses that were going on that day, and you just take your time again, you sit down with a cup of tea and you break it down and say, right, okay, we've got this particular drama today, but like, how did this kick off? And like, let's break that down a bit. And you get them just to look at it, and you just, you know how it is, you just get it that flat, it doesn't exist anymore, and the drama's gone. But that was 4 or 5 hours, and then you drive back again, and then you get back, you check your phone, it's like, oh, it's someone else in Fife. But we share it. I mean, there's Lorna as well. I mean, Lorna's fantastic. Now we've got Jake. Jake's exceptionally good at this.
It's like there are no boundaries to the level of support that you'll give to look after these people.
No, not at all. That's why we don't take much time off, because we can't be that far away from them the whole time. But I don't mind that. I mean, this isn't a job. It stopped being a job day one. You're there for them the whole time, because we can see what's going to happen. We know the outcome. We get excited that like in 4 months they're going to see it. They're going to be that person they spoke about on selection.
And it's like the outcome is phenomenal, isn't it? Because I first met you maybe 11 years ago in Norway on a ski trip, and you had just started the programme then. But since then, I think you said you've had hundreds go through the programme.
270 have gone through it.
And the change it makes on the, like, how... Where are they now? Where are your early
it's
cohorts?
Take your pick. I mean, we've got school teachers, scientists, Royal Marines. They're just incredible. I mean, the first year that I done this, I mean, the kids from an area that kids don't do stuff from. Simple as that. And the only reason I went there is because certain local authorities told me not to go there. I'd be wasting my time with those kids. They were perfect, absolutely perfect. Out of that first 10, I only took 10 first time, we got 4 school teachers, right? We got the Royal Marine out of that, and I was proud as anything with that. I mean, that to me was unbelievable. We've got a doctor out of that first 10. She'd done English at first, but she wasn't satisfied. So she went back to uni to do a medical degree. incredible. I mean, they're all grown up now. But that's the case with everyone. But what we do, I mean, no one ever leaves Polar Academy. These guys come back and tell the story to the kids that are going through it, and they say, right, and they absolutely know how they're feeling because they were there. And again, they only speak in positives. Yep. It's like this, like that dream that you've got will happen. It's just all you've got to do is work really hard. And you'll get there.
That's it. You make it sound easy, but there's no doubt that it's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's really hard. But you'll get there. You'll get there, and if you need support, we'll be there for that. And same with mum or dad, we'll be there for that. So they do this, go through all the training, and say we ramp up. And at the same time, we're teaching them leadership skills and expeditions. We're teaching them, actually give them qualifications on navigation, and then exposing them to this other life, this university life, which we're really lucky to have. So we team up with universities to do their field science up in the Arctic. So these kids are doing university level climate change science or eDNA science. So they go to these universities and we say to them, you absolutely belong here. Right? I mean, they've not thought about universities for other people. He said, you absolutely belong here. And we've taken them around to Oxford and Cambridge. They think it's Hogwarts. And said, you would fit in here. You fit into St Andrews, you fit into Glasgow. This could be you.
And do they go? I mean, do you have one? Yeah. It's remarkable.
They absolutely go. I've like signed off so many personal statements for kids for the UCAS application to go in.
Yeah, what a strong thing to have on your personal statement. The Polar
It's
Academy.
unbelievable. And the kids, I mean, we've had one kid one year, it was great. Very dyslexic, dyspraxic and all this kind of stuff, and wanted to do outdoor education at university level. But I thought, he can't complete the application because no one will understand it. So it was like a couple of phone calls. Listen, can we do this orally? Can we just do it? And he went up and he said he walked into the room and they were almost like rubbing their hands because they knew what was coming. And he was talking about school and they were going, yeah. Tell me about Polar Academy. We've heard about that. And he told them, and of course he graduated last year.
Oh, wow.
And he's back with us as a guide. That's young Aaron.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, and young Aaron was select mute.
Was he?
Yeah, for years.
And when did he come out of that?
Not long before he started talking. Not long before we met him, and he hasn't shut up since. Aaron's incredible. He's given presentations to over 20,000 kids now. He's unstoppable. But we've got lots of Aarons now. Yeah. All over the place.
What stands out is that we've been talking for a while and we've not really talked about the expedition. It's like the process is...
The expedition's the proof.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When by the time they're ready to go to the Arctic, they are an incredibly fit, incredibly tight, professional team. Right? Really hard to do this with adults because ego gets in the way with this.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist with these kids. But they've got all these new emotions which they've never experienced before. The main one being pride in themselves. They've never felt that before. And we take them out and if we talk about Greenland, get them up to a place that's so foreign to them. When you've been there, it's like going back in time.
Yeah.
And day one of the expedition, I absolutely loved because we get them all down in the fjord on the sea ice and we line them up and it's like the command is shoulder to shoulder, all line up. And I give them a little chat. And all I do is remind them of where they came from. Remind them of day one. And again, I make a promise to them. I say, like, all the darkness that's left in you stays on the ice. It doesn't come back to Scotland with us. and it will never track you down again. Okay, you take the lead your team. Where? North. That'll do.
So they just set a bearing and head north. Yeah.
What mountain do you want to see? That one. Okay, go to that mountain then. Ski. Look after your team. Look after each other. Be kind. Write your diaries every day. Do your science. And for us as instructors, even though we're in extremely hostile environment, it's very safe, because we know we're with a group that are exceptionally highly trained and motivated. That the hardest thing we've got is for them to stop at the end of the day. It's like they want to keep going, and we've got, no, listen, it's going to be dark in 2.5 hours. Yeah. It's time to set camp up, right? It's okay, so you know what you're doing. Like, you're on polar bear fence duty, you're doing all this, you're digging blocks. Everyone's got their little job.
It's funny, when you say polar bear fence duty, you say it like it's nothing, polar bear fence duty, but that's, it's a real thing out there.
It's Arctic, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we carry weapons. I mean, children don't even see the weapons, but we carry weapons, put the polar bear fence up. But our main security is the local people. I mean, we're in a hunting community. They're our main protection, is the locals. They won't let anything near us. And we explore. We do good old-fashioned exploring. So it's like, there's a huge mountain. We can just see a glacier up there. There might be an ice cave. Let's go and check it. Yeah, how about that? How about we do that today? And it's like, yeah, let's do this. Like, okay, you know what to put in your rucksacks. You know how to look after each other. Let's get ourselves up there and do that. Right, while we're up there, let's do some eDNA science, shall we? And time, I mean, you warn them about time in the Arctic. Time passes so quickly, as you know. So 10 days out in ice is like that. And they get back, and that last day skiing, when they're skiing back into the town of Taslak, like when they're a couple of miles away, they're getting slower and slower and slower. They don't want it to be over. They want to repack the sleds and go back out.
Go again.
But I mean, they've skied like 110k, and temperatures -20, big winds, big storms. No one said the word cold. No one said they're tired. No one's whinged, complaining about anything. They can't believe what's just happened. They can't believe they saw the Northern Lights most nights. They can't believe they saw hanging glaciers. They can't believe that diamond dust was come down. They can't believe a Inuit hunting group passed them with like 3 seals in their sledges. They can't believe they've seen all these huskies. I said, well, it has just happened. And we get back, and the kids that we take back, that arrive back at Glasgow Airport, are different human beings to the ones that left. That darkness is all gone.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, so the ones who were getting bullied, it doesn't happen anymore. The bullies have no power over that at all. If there's no reaction, there's nothing. Well, you know, bullies are essentially cowards. So it stops. And that person that they wanted to be is there. But we want them to do more than that, because we don't charge any money for all this. It's all free. That's why I look tired all the time, because
it's not free, is it? You have to raise hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, it's £500,000 a year.
And you're raising that, Craig.
Yeah. And but they're too valuable just to leave at that point. So that the payback is we send them out to help other kids. So we send them out to schools and to talk to kids that are struggling, that were them 18 months before, and tell their story to them. And that makes a difference. I mean, if I was to go into schools and do all these talks, they just see some like aging hippie that talks about skiing North and South Pole, and it's like, it doesn't relate to them. You put a 14-year-old in, you can hear a pin drop in a high school, where it's normally kicking off and noise doesn't happen. They're hanging off every word, and these kids just come out with the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Brutally honest, and like you see the jaws drop, and it's like, she's talking about how I feel, or my trauma. I thought I was the only one.
Even that has an impact, does it?
Oh,
like yeah.
But for the Polar Academy kid, they're getting elevated to the next stage.
Yes.
The whole time. So that's the payback. So the payback is every Polar Academy kid must help a minimum of 3,000 other kids. And they all do.
So over the years, how big's the audience?
I've stopped counting. It's impossible to count anymore.
Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands,
hundreds.
something like that.
Yeah, and they do radio interviews, and they just fly after it. I mean, we've got two girls in Australia just now, out doing a tour, visiting schools, talking, working as they go.
Yes.
One of them's only 18.
Talking about the Polar Academy in Australia.
Yeah, the 18-year-old, she was that shut down when she came to selection in the lecture theatre when she had to give a lecture. The only way we could get her to talk was switch all the lights off, so she was in pitch black. Right, she was that shy. Just like working in a gym, going around touring schools, talking about Polar Academy now in Australia, and she'll do that for a couple of years and move on.
What I hear again and again when you describe things is how adaptive you are, how far out of your way you go to enable. So she couldn't speak in light, no problem, turn the lights off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like other ones, like where they'll speak, but it'll be that soft that you can't hear them sit in lecture theatre. So it's like, okay, let me come round the front. Like, there's a beanbag, we'll sit down this together. You just like whisper in my ear. We'll get it
it's
done.
It's whatever
that way.
you need to do to allow them to communicate with you.
Yep, absolutely. If you can't speak, write it down. Can you write it down for me? That's fine. We'll do that. Anything. It doesn't matter. Everything is tailored to that child and that family. So I mean, other families. I mean, we've had it where, like, we've had a mum just at her wit's end. Like when it's that bad that she's not sleeping because she thinks her child will be dead in the morning. She'll find them dead. At that stage. I remember, like, she was going through selection, and I knew this boy was a complete superstar. But no one had ever sat him down and just got him to talk. Everyone was interrogating him to find out what the problem was. And it's like, he will tell in his own time and tell him in his own way. But in the meantime, his mum was just out the world panicking. And of course, we usually wait a couple of weeks before we tell them what's happening. But again, we change it accordingly. I remember getting this woman out of a meeting room, and again, she spent the whole weekend in tears. And I said, like, he's in. And she said, what do you mean? I said, he's been in since the first minute I met him. Weeks and weeks ago. When I came into the school and I saw he had an assigned teacher watching his every move in case he hung himself, he was in. The fact that he was here, he's in. The fact that you're here, he's in. He's going to be a shining light to everyone else. First thing we do is get rid of that teacher.
Mm.
That reminds him every second of the day he's a victim.
Mm.
We got rid of the teacher and he started to shine instantly.
It's like the drama triangle where you make someone a victim by providing a full-time rescuer or persecutor. Actually, just get rid of them and that's it.
To me, it's insane, absolutely insane. But that's the guidelines.
So everything I know. I mean, I've known about the Polar Academy for a long time, and I believe passionately in your work. But the money, to go back to that, you're raising $500,000 a year, and you've been doing it for what, 10 years?
Yeah,
11 years?
well, this is going to be year 13.
So you've raised £5 or £6 million over that time, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
How do you raise? What support do you need actually? I mean, that's
what my dream is to find the unicorn out there, and they will be out there. I know he or she is out there. A unicorn funder is someone who goes like, Craig, just tell me every year what you need. You concentrate on helping more kids. Don't like waste your time fundraising. I will just pay for it. That's what I need. Reality is somewhat different for charities. I do countless talks.
Yeah.
To spread the word, and how we do it, how we bring it in, is good old fashioned sponsorship. So we display your logo, you give us X amount of pounds. Or patrons, and I love every single patron we've got. Patrons are a group of individuals or syndicates, it could be more than one person, who would have been a Polar Academy kid when they were young. So they fully understand exactly why we want money. There's rules to be a patron. You don't talk about it. It's a bit like Fight Club. You don't talk about it. I don't want to see on social media how great you are for charity. I want you to give because you want to give. You know every penny's going to these kids. They're special people. They're really special people. So we've got a couple of them. We need more. I need 15 more would be good. And that could be anything. Like a patron can give from about £10,000 up a year to whatever they want. Obviously the higher the better, but they're there year on year, and that's important for us, because when we say to a kid, this is going to happen, it has to happen. We can't turn around in 6 months and say, listen, we don't have the funds. It's got to happen. So we have that. We have companies that maybe can't give money, but they can give kit. And people like Rab, Tyso, they're just like people with proper golden hearts, with good ethics in the company, good people in the company, but doing it for the right reason. And that's really important. I probably make my life 100 times harder than it needs to be, where we could just take from everyone that offers, but it's totally wrong.
You're looking for believers, people who get it.
Yeah, I mean, I always say, like, have you ever read any Nansen books?
Yeah.
I mean, his thing, like, surround yourself with people who are better than you. Absolutely. Yep. People you want to hang out with. That's why I'm here. And any other people, I just nod and smile and disregard them and move on. And so everything feels right. And we get that a lot up in Scandinavia. The Scandinavians really, really understand why there's a need for Polar Academy, why it's so niche, and why you don't have to take every kid in the country up to the Arctic to change children. All you have to do is take the correct small group each year to change everyone else.
Yeah.
Have that big cascade effect. Not only with children, I mean, I'm missing a big bit out, it's with families as well. You're bringing families back. I mean, we've had parents haven't worked for 16 years, gone back into the career, like back to teaching, one of them, because they've got that confidence now, and they've got that, the huge blackness from them is now gone because their kid's safe. Their kid is flying high.
Well, it's a huge thing, isn't it? Worry about your own children.
Yeah.
It has a massive effect on parents.
Yeah.
So you're lifting that worry from their children and therefore from them.
Yeah, and we're getting them fit
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yes. But again, there's so much stuff that we do that we just never have time to talk about. Like the amount of food kids need to do this is huge. So we provide breakfast with them. So some kids only own one pair of shoes. It's the school shoes. So if you come to training, everyone's the same.
Yeah.
What you need, we will provide. We do it. If you have, like a mother has other siblings, younger siblings, that she needs childcare, bring them to training. We'll kit them out, put Polar Academy t-shirts. They can run up and down and slide on their knees while everyone else trains. Make them part of this, right? The mum can't come tonight. Okay, where's your grandmother? Get her in here. Get a hoodie on her.
Yeah.
She can take pictures tonight. Make sure someone's there. I want someone watching how good you are every week.
It's incredible, Craig.
Yeah.
You know that, I mean, we've had many conversations about this stuff, and I could listen to you talking about this stuff for hours, and there's so much we haven't talked about. I mean, gosh, you've been to the South Pole, you've been to the North Pole, you've done some remarkable things, but the Polar Academy, I think, is the most impressive youth organisation or mental health charity that I've ever heard of, and I'm a huge fan of your work. So I'm afraid we'll have to draw a line under it there. But Craig, thank you so much.
No worries. It was really good.